I'm actually I'm leaping in here on stage for a reason, and it's to make sure, don't worry, I was told that I had a 30-minute slot only today. Yesterday I was told it was 10 minutes, and I've decided not to fill the 30 minutes, you'll be pleased. So it's only got 10 minutes, so I thought if it's easy if you guys are available just to stay for 10 minutes to stop everyone leaving, that would be great. Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everybody. Salam alaikum, and it's a great privilege to be speaking to you all today. It's quite the challenge to provide a wrap-up that does this day justice. I want to start this closing speech, however, by sharing my thanks again to all the brilliant, inspiring and change-making speakers who have been here before me on this stage today. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Thank you. A big thank you again to Tara and Laura for their unwavering drive in pulling together these globally unique events and putting women directly at the heart of their work. And thank you again to all the forward-thinking sponsors supporting WiMENA and committing to raising up women in and through sport. But most of all, and I mean this, a thank you to all of you taking the time to come here from near and some from very far to connect, learn and be part of our growing global community. I began my journey in the Middle East through Newcastle University and our partnership with Princess Noor University in Riyadh. We were simply looking at sharing good practice around women in sport, and I never would have thought in a million years that that would have led me to be delivering women's skills, education, leadership, empowerment pretty much every 6 weeks out there in the region for the past 3 years. But I'm really, really glad I made that first journey and first visit with my Vice-Chancellor, because that moment and that visit has completely changed my life professionally and personally. We now deliver through the University of Newcastle in Riyadh, Dammam, Jeddah, Alula and Medina. We've also grown through empowered leaders into provision in Kuwait, UAE, Oman and hopefully, inshallah as they say, expanding to Qatar and Iraq. I can genuinely tell you that every time I visit the region, I see change. And the rate of that change is almost unbelievable. And any of you who have been there will see that every single time. I've had the privilege of meeting and working with some of the most amazing trailblazers in women's sport in the region, and I'm unashamedly going to take a moment to name a few of them now to recognise their invaluable contributions to our cause. Princess Delail, who was mentioned by Karen earlier today, Lina Al-Mayena, the legend and founder of Jeddah United, Shayma Al-Husseini, the Saudi Sports for All CEO, sports federation leaders, mentioned earlier again, such as Arij Al-Mutakabani, Saudi Tennis, Professor Aynash, she is the former president of Princess Noor University, and she only in the last couple of weeks has been appointed as Deputy Minister of Education for Saudi Arabia, and that's a very welcome appointment. Indeed, there's a clap there. Fatma Hayat from the Kuwait Olympic Committee, Marahab Al-Shamari, who spent 20 years heading up women's sport in the Kuwait Public Authority for Sport and has seen it through some significant challenges. Sheikha Amna and the Al-Shamsi sisters in the UAE supporting the creation of the first Women's Sports Council in Ras Al Khaimah, and other inspirational female leaders across Oman, Qatar and so many others that I don't have time to list today. And also following on from a mention in the role model panel discussion earlier, I don't want to forget the strong male allies I've met along my MENA journey who are so critical to this time of change, including Sheikh Abdullah Al-Sharki. He's the Vice President of the Asian Bodybuilding Federation, but a constant and visible supporter of his daughters taking part in sport and social media, and that has been incredibly powerful in the UAE. His brother, Sheikh Mohammed Al-Sharki, the Crown Prince of Fujairah, who set up and fully funds a martial arts club that buses in over 1,000 children a week to the centre, mixed training and competition, because he saw it as a way to bring the two genders together so that people understand each other and respect each other at a young age, so that his emirate in Fujairah, the community, will be built and founded upon equality. And of course, Ali Al-Dajani, who I spoke about last year, my fav, the Saudi Rugby Federation president, who insisted on launching boys and girls rugby at the same time across schools in Saudi, leading to the first full contact Saudi women's rugby team. And as an ex-England rugby player, you can imagine how close that is to my heart. I'm consistently surprised and inspired in equal measure through my work across MENA at the huge efforts taking place to accelerate access for women to opportunities that may have long been withheld. There is a real hunger for education, skills development, competition and success. I'm truly honoured to play a small part in supporting these endeavours through sharing lived experience and expertise, and I couldn't be happier to see so many others joining us in that role. Over the past 3 years, though, it's become extremely clear to me that I have a responsibility, along with everyone else in this room that is part of the women's sport landscape in MENA, to share the stories of success, the examples of community impact and real-world change taking place in the region. We've heard today from trailblazers who were there at the start of this seismic shift in society, and to them we owe great respect and gratitude for their passion to ignite the chain reaction that we now see all around us. We've been inspired by the phenomenal role models that are making the most of every opportunity created for them, continuing to challenge expectations and raising aspirations of future generations. You will likely all have heard the phrase, you have to see it to be it, and that couldn't be more relevant in this region, where women from all walks of life need to see themselves as part of this new world of sport and active well-being, creating active families, healthy schools, community clubs, performance pathways, and leading to the possibility of representing their country on a global stage. We've also learned about the path ahead of us, what will mould the future of sport through technology, AI, the power of imagery, in the evolving nature of fandom and growing commercial value of women's sport. These areas of development highlight even more the specificity of data and insight needed to fully engage with women and girls as the participant, workforce, fans and investors of the future. We've heard about the catching up we in the UK have to do to match the equal pay policies implemented by Saudi Arabia across all of their national teams. I'm blown away by how quickly that they've determined that this is the approach that is appropriate, fair, and genuinely reflects and recognises the commitment required by all athletes. And I really hope that this isn't glossed over or lost within the messaging and narrative around the evolution of sport in Saudi Arabia that we hear so often here in the West. We all know that we continue to face challenges as women living through the legacy of a male-dominated global sector. But together we will use our learnings and our mistakes, and I say that again and again, to guide the next generation to lead a world that expects sport to be a safe and supportive space for everybody. This journey of women's sport shared with us throughout today has left us wondering what each of our roles might be in the next chapter of this ever-changing story. I'm not sure we will know the exact answer to that yet, but I do know that we will all be needed in taking the next steps on this unmapped road. We will not be bound by the route taken by men's sport, but we should see the value in being tethered to the lessons learned by those women who have opened up the map for us. Our destination is not defined, and that is because we will continue to push the boundaries, to challenge expectations and break barriers. But one stop along the way that we can all agree on is to see MENA women taking their place in global leadership, on international podiums, and becoming the visible role models to raise the aspirations of the generations that will be our navigators of the future. We all come from such a rich range of social, cultural and sporting backgrounds, and so when we bring all that lived experience together, we create a very powerful community to create collaborative solutions to these shared challenges. So, as we come to the close of this great day and full of hope, I want to thank you once again for being part of this journey. And my challenge to you is to leave this event more informed, inspired, and motivated to use your networks and communities to share the real narrative of the rapid development of women's sport and empowerment across MENA and how our connectivity truly makes a difference. So, until we meet again, which I'm sure we will, let's make sure we continue learning, driving forward and shaping the future of women's sport together. Thank you very much. And there is an email. You are going to receive an email with a survey on that. And that's not your usual survey, did you like the food? Okay, that's a survey that actually asks about outcomes and potential topics for WiMENA to work with you on in the future. So thank you again and safe journey home.